like this dude sitting here. Right? But this is not what they're talking about. It said the Dawes Roll was aimed to bring Indians into mainstream of American life by making them live like the white man. And so it's trying to make you be something that you're not.
Okay, go ahead. You going in?
That's out the gate. It's telling you that right there. Okay, now what's the next one? The Indian resisted. That's a standalone statement. The Indians resisted. All right, now you look at his name.
It's Senator Henry
Dawes. That's who the Dawes Roll was named after, right? Okay, now let's go to the next one.
Got it.
Okay, now let's go over this. What was the 1887 Dawes Severalty Act?
Go ahead.
Right? Now, it said the Dawes Act granted the president authority to divide up native lands into individual allotments. Land was placed in trust for 25 years. Excess land could be bought by the federal government and sold to non-natives. 1902, the Dead Indian Act. This is what makes you a straw man right here. 1902. Now, this is all under the Dawes Roll.
Keep it in mind. Go ahead.
All right. The 1902 Dead Indian Act allowed natives to sell inherited land even if still in trust status. Think about that for a minute. You can't sell trust if you're a trustee. All right. As many natives were impoverished, the sale of land provided income to live. Now look at the name of that. The Dead Indian Act.
Damn.
Right? First of all, the term Indian is a misnomer. I mean, a false name. Okay? Followed by the Burke Act of 1904, authorized Secretary of the Interior to determine competency of landowners. Now, remember, we were talking about 3/5 compromise, right? We're talking about $5 Indians, and this is how we become compromised to the 3/5 scenario. Authorized Secretary of the Interior to determine competency of landowners. If competent, the land was distributed out of the trust and then taxed. If incompetent, land could be sold without the owner's consent. Okay, now let's read the other side. Go back to the top. The Dawes Act, subsequent legislation decimated native land holdings and failed to spur natives to assimilate into American culture. Its failure is among the many broken U.S. promises that ultimately devastated native culture. Right? Let's see what else it say. Native land holders now showing you what's called a pie chart. 48 million acres remained by 1934. Native land holdings were reduced by 90 million acres because of the Dawes Act. They keep telling me they stole our land, but every time I look out my window, I swear I should still sitting here under our feet.
Got them.
Okay, let's go on to the next one. Okay, now that's history chart on the Dawes Roll and related acts. Now look, notice Cherokee, freedmen, enrollment. That word in the middle is important.
Freeman.
Do you know what that means?
No. Like
that means that you are a more of status classified as a free white person in law. You are classified then under the term of freedman in the jurisdiction of the de facto corporation. That's a whole different people. See where it say Cherokee? That name was made up to facilitate what we're about to read.
Damn, go ahead.
That's not our original name, but that's the name they gave us in order to commission the 5 civilized tribes.
Okay.
Right? Okay, so now we're going into Muskogee Indian Territory. Okay. From April the 1st, 1902 until May 31st. Now you see this is an ongoing process. It didn't happen in one day.
Yeah.
Because remember, the Dawes Roll started in the 1880s. Now we are 20-something years later, they still working on stealing our shit.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. It's a inclusive for the purpose of hearing rebuttal and supplemental testimony with respect to the enrollment of Cherokee freed men. That's a double motherfucking negative. That you can't be a Cherokee freed man.
Right.
Because you have to change your status to a freed man as an indenture in order to become a free white person in law, meaning that you had to get from under your servitude commission by the people that brought you over here. Notice is hereby given to all freedmen listed as doubtful claimants that after May 31st, 1902, their case will be considered as completed and will be finally decided by the commission and reported to the Secretary of the Interior for his approval. Native Cherokees, now you see the comma?
Yeah, yeah.
Freed men, you see the comma?
Yeah, separate.
Right. Or that's okay. This is separate from both of them. Claimants by adoption who have not already appeared can apply for enrollment July 1902. You see the word adoption?
Yeah, right.
What does that mean?
It means that they added it on or drafted it in.
Right. So if it's a claimant by adoption, that means that you claiming that somebody in the tribe adopted you and gave you some kind of birthright.
Yeah, still not birthrights. Yeah, cool. Go ahead.
Okay, now let's go on to the next one. We just showing them because they say we don't have no receipts, Elder, but they don't want to talk about this shit we're talking about now.
Get these
paying to play Indian. Read this. This is paying to play Indian. Look what it say. Paying to play Indian.
Damn.
The Dawes Rolls and the legacy of $5 Indians. Paying a commission $5 can get an opportunistic so-called white person on the Dawes Roll 125 years ago, which still causes problems for tribes today.
Damn.
It may be fashionable to play Indian now, but it was also trendy 125 years ago when people paid $5 a piece for falsified documents declaring them native on the Dawes Roll. They already know it's fake. It say it right here. Damn. Falsified documents, $5 a piece, 125 years ago, declaring them native on the Dawes Roll. Let's go. We're going to get into some so-called $5 Indians paid government agents under the table in order to reap the benefits that came with having Indian blood. Mainly so-called white men with an appetite for land, $5 Indians paid to register on the Dawes Roll, earning fraudulent enrollment in tribes along with benefits inherited by generations to come.
Damn.
These were opportunistic so-called white men who wanted access to land and food rations, said Gregory Smithers, associate professor of history at Virginia Commonwealth University. These were people who were more than happy to exploit the Dawes Commission and government agents for $5, were willing to turn a blind eye to the graft and corruption. You see that word graft?
Yeah, that's going in on a little on that, man.
Okay, go on, don't go nowhere. Stop. Okay. We're gonna look at that for a minute. Go back.
I'm going back.
Okay, now it's and the government for $5 we're willing to turn a blind eye to the graft and corruption. Who's grafted?
Right? Like who's black, like who's devil.
And if he's the devil, wouldn't that automatically make him corrupt?
Yeah.
Why? How do we know this? What do it say in the book? You are not of my father, you are your father. He was a murderer from the beginning and a liar, and there's no truth in him.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Let's keep going. The Dawes Commission established in 1894 to enforce the General Allotment Act of 1887, or the Dawes Act, was charged with convincing tribes to cede their land to the United States and divide remaining land into individual allotments. In other words, separate the unity. Look at this careful, y'all. The Dawes Commission, established in 1893 to enforce the General Allotment Act of 1887, or the Dawes Act, was charged with convincing tribes to cede their land to the United States, which is a corporation, it's a de facto, not a de jure, and divide remaining land into individual allotments. There's only one problem with this, Elder.
Go ahead.
In the Jubilee year, and I think 2022 was a Jubilee year, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. In the Jubilee year, at the close of the age, I think we're going out of Pisces into Aquarius. Am I right?
Yep.
Okay. So if it's a Jubilee year at the close of an age, and at the closing of the age, everything reverts back to who it belonged to at the beginning of the age.
Mm-hmm.
Under the Jubilee forgiveness of all debt.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, it's important that y'all looking at this. The Dawes Commission, established in 1893 to enforce the General Allotment Act of 1887. The word that's operative at this point is enforce. Mm-hmm. What the fuck that mean?
Mm-hmm. Enforce to make your ass. You ain't got no other choice.
Right.
Bow, take it like a man. Take it up to,
Yeah. So was charged, that means that they was given power to convince the tribe by what method though?
By we're gonna kill your ass and you'll take your kid if you don't do what we tell you to do.
Right. So they want us to give our land up and break it up into individual allotments. That's so that they can divide it up and sell it off our property under our feet. Mm-hmm. The commission also required Indians to claim membership in only one tribe and register on the Dawes roll what the government meant to be a definitive record of individuals with Indian blood. This is going to come back up when we listen to Chief Warhorse in a few minutes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hey, can I ask you a question right here?
Huh?
Can I ask you a question? Does this tie in with the I know it's probably gonna come up but does this tie in with the Andrew Jackson Indian?
Yep. Because Andrew, yep, exactly, 100%. Okay. Andrew Jackson was declaring people chiefs. Mm-hmm. Can you hold this and go to open up a Google page? I want you to look somebody up.
Hold on, make sure I don't do it. Okay, let's go right here.
Look up Chief White Wolf.
I got him already in your folder. Hold up. I got him in your folder. Yeah, I knew you was gonna probably say something about him, so I got his ass.
Mm-hmm. You sure don't worry. That's him.
Yeah.
He was supposed to have like a 10th native blood or some bullshit, but he was declared the chief by a political figurehead. I think it was Andrew Jackson, if I'm not mistaken, who was declaring these motherfuckers chiefs. Mm-hmm. No, nobody over here ever looked at like that.
John Smith. Now, was this a damn John Smith that was going out to Pocahontas?
It could have been. More than likely it was. Remember, he didn't even come from over here. The guy that was out there, that's his show who it is. But in the story of Pocahontas, he came from Europe.
Yeah, he did. He came from Europe. Dog niggas was in Europe.
How the fuck he get to be the chief? He ain't black.
What is he, burnt? You know what I'm saying? Shit, burnt.
Look, that's why his nose looked like that from being burned and exposed to the sun, and he can't take it.
Oh yeah,
his nose has got calluses.
Go ahead, you can see it. You can see it. Yeah, go ahead. Mm-hmm. You can see that he got this. He gets sunburned. Sun.
Yeah. So his story, this picture right here, he's supposed to be like 100 and something years old.
Okay. that's another reason too. He 100 or something.
Yeah, but black don't crack.
No, black don't crack like this though. My grandma was 100 and something. She ain't look like this.
Mm-hmm. Anybody that know people know where that motherfucker come from.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get back to the post. We got some more Dawes Roll reading to do.
Yeah, I like this. I like your post on your page. You got some good shit. All right, let's roll that back, baby. That pull back up, please. Where were we? Where were we? Hold on, we were right here. All right.
Keep going. That's just a commercial. The Curtis Act, passed in 1898, targeted the 5 civilized tribes. Here's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
They call these the 5 civilized tribes, and they changing the names.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Specifically Cherokee and Seminole. Seminole should be Gullah or Gullah Getcha.
Mm-hmm.
And Cherokee is a whole nother word. I can't even pronounce that shit right now because I'm not, my mind ain't over there. Mm-hmm. But the Curtis Act passed in 1898 targeted 5 civilized tribes, forcing them to accept allotments and register on the dog roll. Now here's the key thing. It say to accept allotments. What does that mean?
To accept reservations, I think.
Absolutely. See, so they was moving to put $5 Indians on reservations using this system. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's say the 2 acts which came, scroll down, during the period of murky social context. See what that say?
Mm-hmm. Murky social context. Look, these niggas will be wording some shit, man.
Right. Now,
not clear. I mean, it's not clear. It's not a clear,
right,
decisive, you know.
All right, now look, this is where the murky social context come in. After the Civil War, when white and so-called black men were intermarrying with Native American women, aimed to help the government keep track of real Indians, while accelerating efforts to assimilate Indian people into so-called white culture. Mm-hmm. Right? So this is what murkied the waters, the 1 drop of blood doctrine, the great melting pot. Everybody giving up a drop of blood, and then they all coming together to try to confuse the genetics. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, let's keep going. We ain't done. Okay. By 1865, African Americans and white Americans were moving into the Midwest, into the Indian and Oklahoma territories, all vying for some patch of land that they could call their own and live out their Jeffersonian view of independence. Mm-hmm. All right. Mm-hmm. Scroll down. Let's see what's read some more. Yes. He said the federal government poured a lot of effort and energy into the Dawes Commission, but at the same time, it was very hard for both Native and American governments to keep track of who was who. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Now, this is important when we get to the Trail of Tears.
Okay. Okay.
The Dawes Commission set up tents in Indian territory. They told us that we lived in teepees.
Yeah, right? Get the hell out of here with that shit. Go ahead.
Look, go back to Google for a minute. Okay. We're gonna come back to this page, but we're gonna go to Google and type in Hun's tents. HUN_S tents. And then go to images. Okay.
They look like these right here, though. They look like these right here, I know. Kind of like these.
Those modern tents.
Yeah, but they're like the old ones.
Put in ancient in front of it.
Yeah, that's right. Let me do it like that. So there you go, right here. Like this kind. Right here. Mm-hmm. The richer guys had like a more of a nice one though, but like the kings and shit. Mm-hmm. But this is the same thing as those.
We didn't live in tents, but I'm gonna show you that in a minute. But first, we're looking at these tents. Now, take out Hun and put in Mongol. All right.
All right, it's the Mongol. Let me say these in my that folder. Damn. Mm-hmm.
That one you clicked on have a Sri Yantra on the front.
Because I'm putting a book together called Young Elder and the Raw Haynes book. Stuff over. I'm going into more detail on it. So
hey, look, you know what's out cold? Motherfuckers be talking about, I remember a lot of stuff. All this shit come from Baba, Elijah Muhammad, No.